One is an idiot, it might be both of them. Shut up, dude.
The Sud Brothers.
Hey, what's up, bro? It's a podcast. There's another guy here.
Yep. Who we got today?
We have Ben Whipp from the band Inhale.
Nice shirt too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
cool.
dope, bro.
Pretty dope.
It
design.
literally is dope.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Nice.
that was the whole kind of
And what
point.
does Inhale sound like?
When you grab the kitchen drawer and you drop it on the floor.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what we sound like live. No, I'm just kidding. No. To be honest, it's kind of just your take on modern metal, but sprinkled with a bit of old school structure, simple kind of things, verse, chorus, but with a more modern feel to the music itself. So this is something that I kind of strive for, but fail miserably many times. But we all got about 1,000 songs on the hard drive that we don't want anyone to look at.
Everyone's got
when you got
those.
10 released, you feel like a rock star. You're like,
bro.
Yes. But no.
It's always nice to get something over the line. It sounds like you're real happy with it.
I am actually incredibly happy with the new tracks that are coming out, and we were going to re-record a first album, and then I was like, fuck that, I really want to get this new album out, new material,
Sick.
keep the ball rolling.
And go forward.
Yeah. Actually in the middle of recording the rest of this album,
Awesome.
It's quite handy having it at home, which is downtime for Ben Whipp. You
So you can just and you got shit on like YouTube.
Definitely on YouTube, Spotify. We're on there as well.
Feel like a bit of gnarly metal. Go check it out. Inhale.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But this is a podcast.
And we do
Right.
stuff.
Yeah. It's Shut Up, Dude. I'm Jizzy. And that's Elvis.
What up?
We got some news this week, man.
Fuck, there's a bit, bro.
There is. Where should we start? There's.
Do you want to go first?
I could. We both want to talk about brainworms, right? There was some
little.
brainworm news this week.
So you know the guy RFK.
Super Tom Waits.
Yeah, or Robert Fuckwit Kennedy Bob. Yeah.
Yes.
That guy. Yeah, he's had some new thing where because bro, I got duped there. I was like, this guy's making some points. And then I seen him say some other shit and I was like, oh no, I don't.
That's just how it is in the world.
It is.
It is.
Say
the great. Right. I'm pretty sure Churchill was a bastard.
Of course,
sometimes.
He was a bastard.
He's said the most iconic speeches of all
Yeah.
time. But I remember you said 2 years ago that this person was
you
dick,
get in a lot of trouble. You do that to
Yeah.
anyone.
He just saved the free world.
Did you bring notes on it?
Yeah, bro, I did.
Here you go.
Robert Kennedy has. It was suspected that he had a tumor in his head, because one of his family members died of a tumor, and he had a dark spot on his brain. But they looked into it, and it turned out to be a parasite which had eaten part of his brain and then died. So in 2012, he gave a deposition when he was splitting up with one of his wives or whatever, and he said that he had memory loss and cognitive impairment and all this kind of stuff.
Cool.
Now that's been brought up in the news.
An actual legit.
That's been brought up in the news, and his campaign manager goes, compared to who he's running against, it's a pretty hilarious thing to bring up, that he's got a dead worm in his brain. Oh shit.
That is pretty heavy.
Yeah, I guess one of them's 77 and the other one's 83, and RFK at a spry 70 has a dead worm in his brain, constricted larynx, heart arrhythmia, and a fucking.
So there's no health checks.
And mercury poisoning.
Yeah.
He also had mercury poisoning.
We talked about this before, about how presidents and politicians, bro, they should have to do a physical and a beep test as well.
You have to do it.
They should.
Honestly, I believe that medicals need to be the greatest thing. You get certain companies will send the mongoloid in to do certain jobs, and they're just like, well, I've got sent here, so I want to do well. And they're like, fuck, they've got someone qualified, and someone who's not going to die in 2 years. That'd be great.
That's true. So, old brainworm.
Yeah, bro. And but it turned out that that stuff was all just because of the mercury poisoning. So don't worry. The brainworm barely registered, right?
The brainworm died.
And he put out a thing.
He
He put out a tweet being like, I offer to eat 5 more brainworms and then debate President Trump and President Biden. And I read that and I go, the worm got party or brain broke because only one of those guys is the president.
Don't they still call him the president?
No, he's not. They don't call him
He's not the
President
president.
Bill Clinton.
No, yeah, I
they
know
call him
that.
former
I just,
President
like,
Bill Clinton.
I'm sure I've seen shit where they've said that, but that was probably at a
That's
event.
Trump. That's branding, bro.
No, that's
he has
probably
everyone call him President
What I'm
Trump.
talking about is probably like when they're like, "Oh, look, here's 5 presidents together." You know, I'm not thinking of them just at the restaurant like Trump would be.
Yeah.
He'd be claiming it.
There is a
hard.
title, I believe, that you get once you've become president, and then you move on. And
Yeah.
then you get. I even think there's a salary involved.
Yeah, bro.
Like, if you've led
You
the
get the
free world-
Secret Service. You never get to drive again.
No.
The Secret Service drives you everywhere for your whole life.
That's brilliant. Just bodyguards all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck, Trump's bodyguards. They must have to make sure those guys can't hear
Like the
anything.
president that's like
Yeah.
nearly dead, you know, super old, where like
Yeah.
his guards are standing around him going,
Oh.
"This could be better use for our time."
Very
Like,
hard,
no
aren't
one's
they?
coming for this guy in the last 50 years.
Yeah, like watching some of Biden's stuff that he does lately just really cracks me up, bro. His speeches when he just trails off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It made him more famous than Trump. You can't deny.
yeah,
Being that way made everyone talk about him instead of the guy.
yeah, bro.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, It's
CIA,
an-
man.
He's
Like,
Ozzy
it's
Osbourne
the
in
fact.
them, bro.
He's the more famous.
He's
It
giving
is.
them the old Ozzy Osbourne. This guy can't really be doing this. He's not like this.
Yeah.
Because I don't. Ozzy was just.
He's doing an Aussie.
yeah, it's an Ozzy
exactly
Osbourne.
right.
Eh?
Yeah,
He's just pretending to be all fucked.
This is Biden 4D chess.
yeah,
It's
bro.
like, fuck.
Because remember, bro, when he showed up at that fucking his big speech that they do every year, and that fucking Marjorie fucking whatever
Magic the Gathering.
Magic the Gathering, that's her name, yeah, Magic the Gathering, when she was all decked out in Trump gear, and Biden's like, whoo, like when he saw her, like he's giving her shit, bro. Fuck, yeah, he's probably onto it as, bro. Just
Probably is. He's
Giving
probably
him
like
the
a
Aussie.
17-year-old guy, steps out of his skin and he's
Yeah,
like
dude,
little
yeah.
Lucifer,
I've seen
shaves
that
down his
before.
horns every
Yeah.
morning, you know.
Yeah.
Like, he's doing a great job if
he's
that's their
wonderful
intention.
if that's
you know.
what he's after, eh? Yeah, if that's what the goal is.
Speaking of American politics, did you see that Krusty Gnomes, the Trump's VP?
Oh, bro,
Um,
Cricket Gnomes.
Cricket Gnomes. Their real name might be Kirsty, but it's probably more appropriate to say dog murderer Kirsty Gnomes.
Yeah, do you know about this?
No.
Oh, the
Bro,
chick.
I know 2 things about her, and the first one is she's a dog murderer.
What constitutes a dog murder? I really got to
okay.
ask. What is a dog murder?
Interesting.
Yeah,
Let's
so
say-
this-
let's
I
say
put
you-
down like my mate's dog. We paid $500. Is
Yeah.
that a
Nah,
Not
no,
so
no.
much
Fuck,
quite like
thank
that,
God.
no.
So this lady has
More like
been
farm to
tipped,
table.
she's been tipped to be the vice president under Trump.
Oh yeah.
But some people have found out that in a book she wrote, it details how she like had a dog when she was 14, I think it was, and it became too much. So she like threw it in this gravel pit and shot it. And
Both.
yeah, both things in that order.
Couldn't bury it.
No,
So do a bury it
that's
first.
why everyone's just like, she's a fucking dog murderer.
She's a
Fuck
dog
off.
She is
murderer.
a dog murderer.
Yeah, that's.
It sounds
so-
like there's more to the story than that.
not in her
Not
book.
according
clearly-
to her book. Well, there's the name of the dog, for
Yeah,
instance,
yeah,
if
yeah.
you'd care to know that.
Yeah,
It was
Ah,
the kids
that's
that
in the-
watched, the kids that watched it happen. You know,
Yeah.
they're the ones
Yeah.
telling the story. I think.
well, no, she said it in her book, like that. This was
Yeah,
like
bro,
a-
this was supposedly her own words, but you'd imagine that her books are ghostwritten. Have
Oh,
you
of
looked in
course.
her eyes? My goodness. She
just
looks like a
sold
fucking
us.
dog murderer, bro. I don't know what to tell you. There's nothing going on up there, dude.
Your international crowd is probably like looking away, like, oh, shit. Like, yeah.
She put in another book that she stared down Kim Jong Il or Kim Jong Un, one of them,
Yeah, yeah.
one of the Kim Jongs. She said
She
that
just rocked into North
that she went
Korea.
in and with like the confidence of a mother because she's so used to staring down her kids. This is how she stared down Kim Jong, one of the Kim Jongs,
One of the
and it was somebody calling her on it, being like, "Now." You haven't been to North Korea, like we know that you haven't been. And she's like, I'm not going to talk about anything specific. I'm really happy the book is being reprinted, but I'm not going to talk about anything. Like I'm not going to talk about anybody that I've met.
Man. Sound bites. That's all I got
Yeah.
to say. Well, in this case, text bites, because she
She-
wrote a book about it.
dog murderer.
And she killed her dog, went to North Korea, yelled at him.
Yeah.
And what's the book called? Queen Karen? like originally, like
Yeah. No, that's a hard
Dog
case
Murder
one.
USA, the Krusty
Dog
Gnome
Murder.
story.
Yeah. No, I don't know how.
American Dog Slayer. Like.
Yeah. Buffy got slayed.
Oh, damn.
What did I have?
I got a story, but it might be too Roganite.
Go.
Do you see that that news story about the orangutan that used medicine on its
Yeah,
wounds?
bro. Yes, I did. Yes.
These scientists studying orangutans found one with like a big chunk torn out of its face, and it like grabbed this plant that I can't remember or wouldn't have been able to pronounce when I did read it, and chews it up, and for like 7 minutes puts it on its cheek.
Nice.
And they see it doing that repetitively, and it heals fine, doesn't get infected.
What
So
was he
that's-
using? Like, what was the plant? So
I
everyone's like,
don't
Can't
remember.
remember.
Everyone's like, the orangutan is like using medicine. It's like, but what's he using? It's working.
It's like
Yeah,
a known,
yeah,
Can I
yeah,
use it?
yeah.
Like,
yeah,
Get him to write
it's
it
like a
down.
known plant that,
Yeah, it
that
totally
people
is.
use for stuff.
Get him to write it down.
Yeah.
I mean, you think you're so smart? Grab
Yeah.
a pen and show me your recipe.
You want to impress me, bro?
Yeah.
Give me a prescription. My one is a bit different.
What do you got?
Woke food.
Work food.
Oh, bro.
I've seen it.
Maybe this is a good time.
I thought that's what what's the Cat Williams had on there. It was like work
For
food.
his new special.
Are you bringing up Streamore?
Yeah, bro. Seymor.
Yeah,
Skinner.
dude, I got a stinger. Can we quickly pause and I'll
Yeah,
drop
bro.
the stinger in, bro?
Go for it.
Well, we don't even have to pause. I can probably drop it in from here.
Yeah, sweet. No, I don't like David Seymour at all. Just something about that fella irks the shit out of me. And
Yeah,
then-
he looks like the dude that you would have wanted to take his lunch, but you didn't want to get sued.
Yeah,
That's the guy.
yeah, dude. Yeah,
That's
he's
the
got this
actual guy.
weird. Yeah, and watching all the stuff of what's going on in New Zealand politics, like, I just don't like what it does to people.
Here's your stinger for David Seymour.
So
And still no one will touch his penis.
Hey!
Yeah,
brilliant.
all that power and money, and no one wants to touch it.
Yep.
Well, no wonder he wants to see the world.
There's
You have to
a
bait him to
Woman's
touch
Day
it.
article where he said he would give it all up for love, and
Yeah.
that's why I'm like, fuck you. That means you give it all up for money as well.
Depends
Like,
what you love,
yeah.
Yeah.
ideally.
Woke food though.
Yeah, like sushi and quinoa, woke food.
But that's
Yeah,
fuck.
that's what he said, bro.
I know. I know. Who the
No,
fuck?
he wants non-woke food like sandwiches, bro. Get it through your head.
Yeah. How do you like? Hey, say it without saying it is what he's doing.
He's bringing lunch ladies to the system, and I think that's kind of alright. But other than the fact he's a dick.
Aren't they giving them packaged lunches?
Oh, is it a package? I thought
Yeah.
that like someone
No,
would have
they-
assembled this for like specific
Nope.
food for specific
No.
diets.
They're like, oh, it should be sandwiches and fruit,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
like what we had. Because
Yeah.
there was nothing wrong with that.
yeah. He
Now
turned
you
out
got all
fine.
these,
Like,
but
yeah.
it's so weird that it's like instead of just saying any other word, he chose woke.
Yeah.
Woke food,
It's woke
like
food.
sushi and
All these guys have just figured out that all they have to do is say these fucking buzzwords. I saw a video of Winston Peters in the house the other day. What the fuck did he say? It was Luxa not answering a question, and then when he stood up and was like, "Would the minister care to say what is a woman anyway?" And the coalition falls out laughing like it's the greatest fucking joke in the world. Like that's what
Okay.
you're doing now, Winnie.
Now, I've made it very clear about how silly this is. Just as a little bit of a detour from the not liking the ACT party, there's this company called Halal Kiwi. I think that's what it is. That's what I wrote down.
Halal like the meats.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And they're calling for a boycott
Wait,
on
they killed
all
them. Sorry.
Zionist-owned companies like McDonald's and Starbucks.
Okay.
And who do you think swoops in to defend that this is bad? And we should remember these people have a right to their own stuff, and they should be able to defend themselves, and they have their own culture, and it might be a bit different, but you have to accept that this is how we have to respect these people. Who could have possibly done that?
Satan.
The ACT Party.
Who's that guy who?
The
who,
ACT Party.
Ah,
Oh shit.
Yeah, it was them. It's like, wait a minute, didn't you fellas just go on this massive rant all through New Zealand saying like, yeah, we get Māori, you fellas got your stuff,
yeah.
but we're all one. Can't put people into groups and give them special treatment. Hey, that's what they've been on about.
Yeah.
That's what this prick Seymour's doing. And then suddenly this Israeli shit shows up and they're like, now, come on, there's no need to be mean to these guys. And you're like, this is getting pretty horseshit. What happened to that one team value you guys had?
I thought halal was a flavour.
No,
Like-
it's
like-
the way
Halal
they
is the
kill
way
stuff.
that you kill stuff.
I know, yeah.
So
but
halal
I was
kiwi, is that
disappointed,
like-
man. I was like, this tastes like shit. It's like, no.
I don't
Like,
want
really,
more of this.
like-
yeah.
Does halal kiwi just mean you like kill it? You kill a kiwi, like cut its head off while it's upside down, while listening to some of that banging Middle Eastern music?
I hope so.
Still go to jail. That's a Kiwi.
Yeah.
He'll still go to jail.
Oh yeah, bro. Nah, it's just weird though that it's like suddenly the ACT Party's like, hey,
Well, it's
we
not
all
like
gotta
them,
have
do they?
our places here. You got to respect everyone's.
Uh-huh.
Instead of the last fucking years and years of like, no, we all got to move forward as a society, and you put that stuff behind what we really need. But suddenly now it's changing. That's
Of course it's
interesting
changing.
to me.
If it's a libertarian party, which is kind of only in name,
In name.
then what they ought to be doing is standing up for big corporations in Israel.
Yeah.
That's the way I understand libertarianism.
Is that accurate though?
Nah,
Is that what
probably-
they say
probably
they're doing?
not. It certainly seems to be what the ACT Party is doing.
It's very
That's,
weird how obvious they're doing it though.
Yeah, they also said that they want to change the if you're Māori or Pacifica in New Zealand, you get free and mandatory bowel screening 10 years earlier because they die of it like 10 years earlier. So Seymour was like, it's not fair.
Yeah,
It's not fair. I want to get rid of it. Like,
this is my point.
bro,
We have the worst bowel cancer in the world. New
yeah,
Zealand. Yeah.
Yeah,
Had to
we-
scare myself, really.
yeah.
I actually did. I went to the doctor, terrified. You
Yeah.
Google search, fuck, I'm dying.
Yeah.
You know, like legit, I had it inside me, like I thought
Yeah.
it was, but no, I was eating a fucking whole leg of lamb at Christmas time, and then I fucking found out that I had to pass. That's
A whole leg of lamb,
The whole
bro.
leg of lamb, man. Lucky it wasn't a bone in it. Like I was like full on like worried. I thought I was fucking dying. Like I legit was telling my wife, showing her my wife and kids, and she's sitting there with the brave face on in front of the kids. Like it was legit. Like I'm not even lying. It's like fucking meat consumption, you know. Fucking.
Nice.
It was a heartwarming story until you told us the part where you ate a whole leg of lamb. Now it's just funny.
Yeah, I was trying so hard to take it seriously.
Self-administering those squirty things ain't a joke. That's where the humour stops.
Oh, damn.
It's just
done.
poo.
It's not funny anymore, Ray.
No, it's
Elvis.
gross now. that's just something I didn't need to think about.
Bowel
But-
cancer is a thing.
But you're right
Yeah.
though. It is one of those things that has to be addressed. But for this fucking Seymour Skinner prick to be like, I don't like it.
Yeah. Man, people talk about
Atlas puppet.
people talk about a wage gap. There's a life gap.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty fucking serious.
Seems worse. Actually.
Yeah, bro. So if I would just a word of caution to any conservative ladies that are listening. As soon as they get bored with the race stuff, they're gonna start on the gender stuff.
Yeah,
and you're
dude.
gonna fucking find out, dude.
Yeah.
Because I don't like the race stuff, but if you're gonna push all the race stuff down my throat, maybe I'll get on board on the gender stuff when it comes up. Actually, bro.
That was getting fired up, bro.
There was another news story though.
I got a few more.
Yeah, bro. What do you got?
The Otago Uni has changed its name.
To what?
Otago
Printel.
Whakaihu Waka.
Oh
It's
no.
Māori now.
Yeah.
Yep. People aren't.
So when are they
They'll
cutting?
Strip that
when are they
down
cutting?
as soon
their-
as they can. They'll strip that off. They'll probably rip it off themselves and screw it up in a big bin.
When are they cutting their funding?
I don't know, but it's
Sounds pretty woke, I'm afraid.
pretty funny. Piers Morgan,
Yeah.
like noted cockwaffle.
He's
We-
cockwaffle,
Yeah, he's one of those weird British insults,
Yeah.
cock weasel or something.
Yeah.
Well, I seen an interview with him talking to some Israeli official,
Okay.
and the guy was like, "Oh, we've killed this specific number of Hamas terrorists,"
Mm-hmm.
and Piers Morgan's like, "Oh, how many civilians have you killed?" And the guy just sort of freezes up, like, well, I don't have the authority to discuss it. And
Shut up, you know.
and Piers Morgan's like, hold on. And you just have this weird interview. It's like the only time I've ever watched him, like, what I would say, like, he does his job. He's actually interviewing and he's asking and pressing this guy, like, hang on, you've given me the exact number, like, of terrorists, but you can't tell me even a ballpark figure.
I can tell you which ones I designated terrorists.
This dude is just like, he ends up going, well, you see Piers. And he just, like a child, just stops. And Piers Morgan's like, I'm not trying to trap you here. Like, he's getting real, like, come on. You can almost see him like, don't do this to us. There's something weird there. But just so weird that they can't tell you any number. And they're like, we are the most moral army in the world. And we keep people safe and all this shit. And we make sure we don't kill the civilians. And we move them when we have to. He's like, well, how many have you killed? He's like, then how can you say what you just said? It's the first time I've seen Piers Morgan act like a journalist. It was real interesting. Yeah, it's like, wow.
You just discreetly said you kill people, and you've wrapped it in a big bubble, and you've sent it out there, and people have just gone, pop, you kill people. Legit. Like, that's actually
what's happened, Yeah.
He said he kills people. Like, so, whoa, no. We have a job. We are contractors. Like, it's like, what? Who do you work for? Shit.
It just gets worse.
That's why he would shut the fuck up. That's why he's like, I'm going to get a hiding when I get home. I just wish he was like somewhere else right in that interview.
Yeah, bro. But watching Piers Morgan do his job for a change was like, oh, this is an interesting change.
I don't want to have a nice thought about Piers Morgan.
Yeah, well, tough shit.
Yeah.
There's one. Yeah.
I don't know. I think we're too quick to forgive some of these guys. I think like someone like Tucker Carlson can spend like 10 or 15 years as a paid Fox shill, and then they fire him and he interviews Andrew Tate, and people are like, oh, I fucking love him now. Like, what?
That dude has
it's the same guy.
Shittest laugh I've ever heard. Like, honestly, if I was just said a joke to him similar to this, if he started laughing like that, I'd be like, oh,
I'm going.
Stop fucking, like, you just killed my joke, bro. Stop fucking making that sound. Like, it's fucking terrible.
Yeah, I watched him get interviewed by Theo Von.
Yeah,
and that was that. It's like, listening to that laugh just killed the interview.
Why did those two people have to sit in the fucking room and like, it's almost like they've just got like fucking a hat and they're just like, boom, there you go.
You can tell now when fellas are like, with Tucker Carlson, like, oh, I'm going out on my own. And suddenly he's on Theo Von and then making his way up, trying to get to Joe Rogan. And then he did it. Like,
he's doing The Rock.
Yeah.
And then he sits in a 3-piece suit in his carpentry workshop for some reason and interviews guys who say they blew Barack Obama and smoked crack with him. And he's like, oh, interesting. Tell me more. So where did he come?
He's just...
Fucking love Tucker now, man.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's awesome. People are like, it's finally speaking the truth on the television. There's people out there that think Tucker Carlson's like ripping the lid off it. And
that's just like New Zealand though. Paula Bennett, you know, when she got found out and they just pulled out her fucking stash and realised that, oh, this is my auntie. She was having spots when I was growing up in the own oven. Like, you know, defence minister. It's very similar.
She's got a job at what? She's the head of Pharmac now, eh?
Yeah, I think they put her in charge of Pharmac. The person probably best known for being a fat bitch. No, not being a fat bitch. For cutting people's benefits when she was...
Pull your Benny. That was
pull
her
your
name.
benefit. So that's probably not it's not more portentous or anything like that.
I actually liked her more when she was having spots around the fucking oven. You know, at least she was to laugh. You know? Had a few dobros.
What was the... The only other thing I had was the roast of Tom Brady happened, and there's some funny shit, there's some dumb as fuck shit.
Honestly, I thought that he would have been way more handsome.
Bro, they keep giving him shit that it's like, why do you look like a gay Tom Brady?
Like, that's the truth. Like,
it's a good joke.
Yeah,
they talked him up, man.
There's a few good ones, like Andrew Schultz being like, oh, Dana White's here. He's put more immigrants in cages than U.S. border policy.
I've only seen him fight once.
Who?
His wife, man.
Oh, yeah, Dana. He won that day.
He won. Yeah, he's easy. Yeah.
Those judges don't know what they're doing.
The difference in weight class, man.
Yeah.
Did you say his wife?
Yeah. There's a video of him smacking his wife up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Oh,
but
nice.
he's the UFC guy, so it's, I don't know, whatever. That's how they live, man.
It's called taking your work home, I suppose. You know?
No, Hinchcliffe just goes hard, bro. And like, I like him. He's a good fucking roast dude. He's an evil little fella. But
Yeah.
yeah, he went pretty hard. He just walks on stage like, nice shoes, Tom. Did you get them in the divorce, bitch? Fuck, this is entertaining. But the thing I wanted to tell you was Kim Kardashian got brought on stage and was so relentlessly booed by this crowd that Netflix had to edit the boos out.
Oof, that's rough.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so people...
Well, does she still come on stage and she's still part of the roast?
yeah.
Isn't it weird then? Is because she'll be
it's
like
so
reacting weirdly?
She just comes out and then she's like, hi, boo, for ages. And then she's just like, and it clicks like there's this really, they cut it well. But when you watch the original footage, because there's original footage,
Okay.
it's the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes for ages. And people are like, come on. And it's just, the crowd just gets louder. It's quite a cool turning point in culture to see it.
I mean, these are comedy fans, right? Like me
Yeah,
comedy fans too. It's a roast.
If that happens in your career as an entertainer, that actually happens, you might need to think about fucking something else, you know? Like,
Yeah,
what could the Kardashians do
Yep.
if they
If that
were
wasn't that thing.
socialites or whatever they are?
Bro,
What could they do?
I have no idea what skills they have.
Yeah, exactly, but like...
Bro, and get this, that Kim Kardashian, the same one that got edited out of this Netflix thing, she spoke at some event in Europe for 40 minutes. Someone yelled out free Palestine. She yelled out free everybody. And it caused a bit of shit. But what's caused more shit is that she was paid $1 million for 40 minutes.
Of course.
Sure. It's just
That's the rub, man.
the rub, bro, yeah.
Just doing the Ghislaine Maxwell, man. I'm saving the oceans. That's exactly what she's doing, you know. It's like, there ain't no fucking Band-Aid big enough for that wound, like, you know.
That's brilliant. Oh, and yeah, Anchorman, or Will Ferrell, dressed as Ron Burgundy, came out at the roast.
Of course.
And Hinchcliffe's like, oh, a whale's vagina, San Diego. Speaking of a whale's vagina, hey, Kim. It's like just those sort of roast level jokes that people are now like, should he have? And say, oh, fuck up. Leave
It's a roast.
alone.
It's a roast.
Leave them alone.
Yeah.
We all know what they are.
You step into the bull ring, you know. That's what's going to happen.
But yeah, that was pretty much it. Oh, and I did find out, you know, we have friends, Spork.
Yeah,
Yes.
bro.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know they have a music video in tunnels?
No?
No.
Yep.
Actually,
Yeah.
I have seen the video.
Yeah.
And now that you mention it, there is a tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
Yo,
I'll show you this later.
me. Yeah, bro. I'd like that.
Where are we at now? Time-wise, are we...
Well, I got another news story, but
Oh,
we can
yes,
take a
sweet.
break first if you like.
No, good news.
What's kind of it might be kind of big. That
Is this more
two
CIA
bits of,
stuff?
Two bits of kind of.
Then we're having a break.
Okay, let's
need
have
to
a
take a
let's have a break.
A break.
Tunnels and calm.
Welcome back. I feel refreshed.
I feel better.
Face swap. That shit's scary. Like, to be honest, the face swapping
Using
shit
face
that
swap
they have
tech.
now.
Oh, yeah, bro.
Oh,
Have you done something scary with it, or seen other people do scary stuff?
I've
with
done
it?
some scary things.
Have you done?
Heaps of scary things.
What have
with
you
this.
done, Ben?
What have I done? Well, I have experimented with photos of myself and given myself tits.
Yeah.
Have you not done that? Have you not
No.
had an inkling of doing that?
No, I've done it.
I'm in the wrong room.
I've done it. I put myself on like Cardi B and all sorts. I did.
I've seen you as Thor.
I got real weird. Yeah, I was
I seen
Thor. Yeah.
Wow.
I made my missus look like Hulk, and it was one of the most terrifying things I'd ever seen. I did real ratchet shit, like just to be like, how bad is this gonna get? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. In 10 years, it's going to be great.
Oh, bro. Like, put my missus' face on a porn scene and send it to her. And she's
jeez.
just like, what the fuck?
Sorry, I found this cool new toy.
What have you been up to? Just go the other way. No, that stuff is terrifying. But have you seen the new stuff where, like, they'll take a video and you can just replace the person? Like,
Yeah. Completely replace and voice replicate.
Yeah.
So you're actually talking to the person, but the person that you're looking at isn't the person. They're behind the screen, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. No, which one where
This is technology made for porno. Like, it totally
put
is.
a,
You got to really understand it.
they put a...
That's probably why. I mean, the first VR was what?
Oh, it's probably porn.
Oculus, I think, maybe. The first
No.
one,
But
the
like,
other one.
what was the first media produced by these companies?
Porn.
Porn.
Yeah.
It's the leading edge.
Yeah, it's driven the market before.
Yeah.
Like, I think the VHS tapes that we used, there was a competitor to those that didn't use pornography. So VHS became ubiquitous.
Ooh.
Another one fell into
Ooh.
obscurity.
They were on that Christian path.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, porn is very corrupting, depending who you listen to.
Yeah. The nuns I saw weren't very Christian, I got to say.
Were they
bro.
nuns on on
Yeah.
websites and stuff?
Ooh, the best
Tapes, bro.
ones. Bad habits.
Oh, come on. That's the name of a porno, isn't it?
No, what's that movie? It's a movie with what's his fucking name? It's a good one. It's a great movie. Old 70s. Oh, I'll tell you about it later.
Bad
Okay.
habits. I can't remember it.
You know Boeing was in the news again.
Yes, boing.
They were in the news for a couple of reasons.
What have they done now, Jizzy?
Well, the landing gear on one of their planes didn't deploy this week, so they had to land without the front wheels.
The front wheels went out.
It's a FedEx, it's a FedEx plane. They had to land it with no front wheels. It was in Istanbul. They declined to comment. Boeing declined to comment as well. But there's more Boeing news because a second Boeing whistleblower has died after a short illness. He's 45.
Now, tell me how he had the thing, like what they said he had, and then tell me how much it looks like he didn't have their thing. Am I right?
Okay. He files a complaint about the 737. He works for Spirit Aerosystems, which supplies Boeing.
Dodgier and dodgier.
Yeah. So I don't know who remembers, but in 2018 and 2019, Boeing planes, the 737s, were involved in fatal crashes, killing 346 people. This guy, Dean, was fired by Spirit, and he filed a complaint with the Department of Labor, saying that they fired him for raising safety concerns. He was hospitalized after having trouble breathing. He was intubated, developed rapid onset pneumonia and a serious infection before dying 2 weeks later. So he goes in with trouble breathing. By the end of it, they've got him on a machine that operates as his heart and liver, like cleans his blood and all that. They're wanting to amputate both his hands and feet. They CT scan him, and it turns out this is all because of a stroke. Like, wow, a stroke? It doesn't, I mean...
Gotta love Western medicine.
I'm not a doctor.
Need that orangutan.
Yeah, bro.
No, but that's Western medicine, you know. Oh, I got something wrong with this company.
Yeah.
That is a Western medicine. You're right.
Western medicine
I
is
see
how
what
they
you're
do
saying.
it, man. I mean, serious. Boeing is a massive like company that actually...
Military supplier, it turns out,
Exactly.
the second largest in the world.
That's been like that since it happened in the 50s. Like, you know,
Yeah,
so,
bro.
and they probably just got a protocol. Someone says something, I had a shit meal on a Boeing plane. You know, that dude will end up in a dumpster in a week because it's just the algorithm.
There's
you know?
more to it, I think, because there was a guy a few weeks ago who blew his mind out in a car, who was in the middle of giving his deposition, another like Boeing whistleblower.
And said that
And
if I
said
kill
if-
myself, I haven't killed myself.
If something happens to me, it's not an accident kind
What's
of thing.
that fucking anti-virus protection? McAfee'd himself.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, McAfee'd him.
Well, this... when that first happened, we're like, fucking did Boeing have that guy killed? That's pretty... I mean, that's pretty intense. Like, if you go through the steps of that in your head, somebody's got to decide to do it, get a mercenary, all that kind of stuff. But when this next one came up, it was like, he wasn't that old. It sounds weird what happened to him. So I looked into the Boeing case. The Federal Aviation Authority they charge Boeing with like reckless endangerment, whatever they charge them with. The Boeing cuts a deal with them, which they're allowed to do apparently. If you get charged with a crime, you're allowed to just be like,
that's been around. For
okay,
a
so
long
it's
time.
called a deferred prosecution agreement, and what it means is if they promise to be good boys for like 3 years, it's fine. Then it's like nothing happened.
Yeah. Well,
You know, like what would happen to any of us if we killed 346 people? You could just say that you wouldn't do that for the next 3 years and you wouldn't get in trouble.
the unfortunate reality is some things are just too big to fall. You know.
Yeah, bro.
There's
That's what it
not-
feels like.
There's not anyone assigned to independently oversee their safety. So
What?
they're also giving the government their word that they're doing it. Here's the linchpin for me, right? A criminal prosecution would mean that the US government can't do business with Boeing. Right? So this deal means they don't get prosecuted, but they can prosecute individual employees. One
What
guy
the
from
fuck?
Boeing was charged, this guy Faulkner. The trial was over in 3 days and the jury acquitted him, finding that Boeing had misled him. So just a jury of regular ass people were like, no, it wasn't that guy that caused the plane crashes.
What the fuck?
Yeah, bro, that's the only guy they've charged. They charged him with 4 counts of wire fraud at 20 years a pop.
What the hell?
Well, but here's where it gets interesting. The Boeing executives trying to have someone whacked is, I don't know, maybe. But if the US military can't do business with Boeing, like if the government can't buy drones and
government
stuff off
can
them
whack
anymore,
people way
now the
easier.
CIA can get involved. Bro.
Yeah, bro.
And now I think the idea of people dying in mysterious circumstances because of this is a lot more plausible.
Yep.
Yeah, like this is just screaming Secret Service. This is screaming American policy.
Yeah.
It totally is. Like anything that's affecting America's thing forward. We may have killed, was it, how many people? 300 and something so people.
346, that was Boeing.
346
Yeah.
people. But do those 346 people conquer against America's dream?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, bro.
It's an unfortunate reality of these people that they've got to keep the car going, you know. And they've
That's
been a
fucked
military
up, eh?
contractor for the longest time. And
Yeah.
to have CIA links is very credible.
Yeah. That does. This is the octopus,
And
bro.
everyone's just like, whoa.
This is the
that's happening.
octopus.
Yeah, bro, a little bit. Yeah, I got into it. I don't know. I don't have any proof, but there's good reasons for people to be acting
Dodgy about it.
poorly around all this.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
Who owns Boeing? Is
Uh,
it BlackRock or something
It'll
like
be
that?
shareholders, and I guarantee
Vanguard
you
or something?
BlackRock will have at least a 10 to 12%
Yeah.
share. Because if you Google what companies does BlackRock own, or do it the other way and just go who's the highest stakeholder in every company, it's every company.
Yeah.
They're not invested in Google and not Apple. It's
Yeah.
Google and Apple and Samsung and
But
every
isn't there-
fucking everything.
Isn't
you
there
can
like
think
a
of, every
pyramid
auto
sort of thing?
manufacturer. Sorry.
That there's like a pyramid sort of effect to it. Like each company also invests in each other. So like BlackRock
yeah.
has shares in Vanguard and
Sure,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, and they all. It's like they've made it. They've locked it. Nothing can happen now.
Nothing
Yeah.
can happen to it. It's too
Yeah,
big to fall.
It's too big to fall. now.
Like just think, you got a plane and you want to build one. The mechanics, the machinery, the electrical engineering, everything is all outsourced between many different companies, and all these companies will also have a say in like what happens with this.
Yeah.
They'll be like, okay, we're no longer going to have the Boeing contract. Someone needs to be silenced.
Yeah,
It is
right.
unfortunate truth. And like, to be
It
honest,
is.
if you look at your history book,
It's probably happened way more times.
and it's going to happen again.
Yeah, bro.
Like, that's the
I
thing.
think so.
It's cool. Oh, you have people there will have their ears to the ground and be like, yes, I got it. I understand what's going on. But it'll send you down a rabbit hole of no hope because you can't change it.
Yeah.
No.
The figure that was bandied about for how much money they were saving by cutting the corners that they supposedly cut was $1 million per plane that they sold. There's like a correspondence of a guy going like, it's sick how much money I'm saving them. It's like $1 million a plane.
That's
The way it
cool.
worked is they put software on it that and they didn't train the pilots properly. They would have had to build heaps more flight simulators and stuff. So the plane starts acting funny. The pilot doesn't know what it is, and the plane nosedives into the ground.
For some reason, that's really. Funny.
It seems to me though the ones that the military use are fine.
Yeah.
Like
right.
the ones that you never hear about.
You never hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Queen's Boeing 717 is fucking top shape.
Yeah.
Like it's
Air
got
Force
like
One's
servicemen and safety inspectors all around.
Yeah.
So there's obviously a system in place for it.
The most dodgy thing about Air Force One seems to be the steers.
Yeah. It catches a lot of those guys out.
It catches a few of them out. They bite. What else you got?
Oh, they had to
Any
pay
more?
$2.5 billion in most of it, some to the government, some put aside for victims who come forward and sue them for
Do you
it.
reckon soon that they'll just take out the seats and it's like a bus.
Oh, yeah.
Or a train.
Interesting, bro.
It's just as safe. Like
yeah,
it
yeah.
is. Like
Yo,
pack
just
them in
as
there.
safe.
It's just as safe.
One of the reasons Boeing's been in the news is because a hatch blew off the side of the plane, right? While they were at like 30,000 feet, the hatch on the side of the plane just goes...
to people that have
Bro,
never really
the
had,
reason the hatch is in there is because they took out one of the exits to put in more seats. It's exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
to be honest, in the aviation industry, it almost seems like there's this whole halo of safety around it. But to be honest, there's not. I've done navigation courses with planes that the doors were being held together by number 8 wire, like through the hinge. You know, flies open when you're training to fly. It's a thing. It's a total thing. You know, see people with the dented doors that going down the road. You're like, oh, that happens to planes.
Yeah.
You know, they are just nuts and bolts and people. Like, and that's never gone wrong before. Eh? Like, you know, like to be honest, like, but they should seriously
we will have to
a
talk to Ben about Northhead off this episode.
Maybe, yeah.
Just because of Boing.
Okay.
Yeah, I forgot about his.
You're talking about it too much. You've said it over the 12th time algorithm. I'm probably going to get murked on the way home. The first car leaving.
Bro, he did just say planes were dangerous.
Yeah.
That's what's been happening. These guys say that and then...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That would be unfortunate.
Yeah. Those cars are fine, you know, to be honest. Have you ever been in a plane, flying around? It's great.
Yeah.
Like, you know, of course people want to do it. And they're like, I want it to be as safe as possible because I want to be a passenger. The pilot doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
He'll crank it up, turn it on, do a loop, you know. Like,
Turn it off to try and save it. Just bored, just
they got rid of the safety inspections on Boeing probably so the pilots could get drunk. To be honest, like there are certain, I'd hate to say traditions to being like a pilot and that kind of thing. They would have a nice top brandy before they fly, you know. Like these are the things that if you were some guy in a red jacket just going, hey bro, you can't do that, you know, they'll be like, get that motherfucker out of here. He's gone. You can't squash tradition.
There's a movie about he's like a pilot and he was an ex-Air Force pilot, but it's a real story and he ends up getting
Scully.
No, he gets brought in by the CIA to like fly over the Contras and stuff. And then when he stops the fuel, the Contras stop him, and they're like, "You're taking cocaine back with you," and it's all a CIA setup. Have you?
I know about Iran Contra, but I don't know who you.
Is it Barry Seal? I'm sure you know about it. There's a movie about it. Is it Tom Cruise plays him? Fuck,
I don't know, sir.
Yeah, it's a good movie though.
But
and
you
it's
said
like,
Tom Seal, and after Helen DePorpoise last week, I don't think I can trust you when you say Tom
Barry
Seal.
Seal, I think is his name. I can't remember.
Barry Seal is a bit sillier than Tom
Yeah,
Seal,
yeah.
so now I'm even less sure.
I'll try and find it.
Those narcos that were actually out there, they were buying a plane, like an entire fucking plane, filling it with cocaine and leaving the plane to fucking rot in the
So this
desert.
guy was like tasked by the CIA to like get out of this jail, to fly over the Contras low enough to take photos, and he just flew and the plane took the photos, and then he stops to land one day and get fuel in some other part that's meant to be safe, and the cartel are there being like, what up?
If it was a movie, they should have Welcome to the Jungle as he flew in. Like, to be honest, you fly into the piranha pond, what's going to happen?
It's like a real story, but yeah, there's a part where he gets arrested and he's telling the cops, like, do you guys like Cadillacs? And you trying to bribe us? And he goes, no, I'm just trying to give you something to make this not hurt as bad. The guy in there is going to get a phone call and I'm going to go. And then it shows the lady who's trying to prosecute him, like, okay, Senator Clinton.
Okay, we'll release Billy Sea Lion.
Yeah. Fuck you.
Drugs, man.
It was Barry Seal. I was
Walrus.
right.
Sorry.
I was right. It's Barry Seal.
Okay.
Yeah. Commercial airline pilot gets involved in drugs and arms smuggling while working for the CIA. Yeah. It's a fucking crazy story.
Didn't he get murked?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
That's
totally.
what I was sort of meaning was
He
like...
got murked in the States, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, like he was traveling...
Safe airs and the cartels, bro. They were looking
How'd they get
after
him?
him. Huh?
How'd they get him?
Oh, he just shot him in his car. They followed him. They used their... what are they called?
Their little fucking weird assassin
Sicarios.
dudes.
The Sicarios.
Yeah.
They send those
What's a
people.
Sicario?
Sicario is pretty much an assassin, but it is hired by it. So these people generally have military background, and they get paid sucks. So someone's just like, bro, come over here, watch
Work
the
for the
boss,
cartel.
watch the Pedro, and then they get paid really well. So they got these kids that are armed to the teeth, and they're getting sent out by these cartels, protect the boss, you know, protect the patron.
Pretty awesome.
And they're going against specialized trained people.
Yeah.
That, like, It's a mincer. It's a grinder. Like usually, some of these people climb to the very top, because of just how fucking evil they.
Yep.
Or not so much evil. I would say that
Just
if you live in a
ruthless to all
violent
means,
world,
bro.
if you live in a violent world, you become a violent person. The world's screaming at you like, "Why are you so violent?"
Yeah.
They're like,
It works.
and it works well. Like you
Yeah.
got people that have been trained that were like police officers that were like chiefs in a police force that actually were on the sideline of getting paid by the cartels.
Yeah.
And at night time they were training children how to dismember people.
Yeah,
Jesus.
bro.
And
That cartel shit
and these
gets
people,
dark
the
as
chief of
quick.
police,
Yeah.
also working for the cartels, also training the people that he's essentially chasing. He is the Ouroboros or whatever you call it.
Snake eating its own tail.
But like they didn't find out about that until they caught him and then realized that shit, this is a lot darker than it
That
looks.
Barry Seal guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the part where he's like, arrested, and then you're gonna get a phone call. The phone call's from a Clinton, and that's why it's like it's pointed out in the movie that this is in that Iran-Contra sort of dealings.
Yeah.
when Clinton was still a senator, I think it was, or congressman or whatever.
It was Hillary. Come on, man.
Of course.
It was Hillary. Of course it was.
Even when it was Bill, it was
Yeah, yeah.
Hillary.
It was before the dick suck where he still was like, I could do what I want, and then he had the dick suck thing happen, and he's like, fine.
America is awesome in that way. Was it the leader of the Russia after they collapsed? What was his name? Boris Yeltsin. Didn't they find him like when he was touring, doing the United States tour, seeing the sights? They found him outside the White House in his underwear, drunk as hell, saying,
Yeah,
"Don't
bro.
take me back."
Yeah.
Literally saying, "I want to stay here."
I've never heard that.
Yeah, bro, no, that's meant to be a real story. I think Simpsons take the piss at that too.
Like
Oh, yeah.
literally, like he was just like, "Don't take." They'll drag him back to Russia.
That's great.
Tell me he's not a puppet, like just to happen to collapse an entire fucking socialist fucking colony.
Must be easy to fucking bribe someone, when all they know is like vodka and potatoes.
They're just like, "Oh, this really interesting player. Here, try this cocaine."
Yeah.
Yeah, there's more of that. We've got a whole Coke factory back here, Coca-Cola.
Is it time for tunnels?
Is it?
Tunnels.
I think
My
it's
goodness,
time,
it might be time for tunnel talk, ladies and gentlemen.
'cause I know.
I totally thought you meant like flesh tunnels when you told me.
I know,
I had
bro.
no idea. You had to
Oh,
elaborate.
Ben.
I was like,
That
what
was
are we
way
talking
too
about?
funny.
Flesh tunnels.
Are you just dropping it in?
Yeah, let's, do you want to take a break or should we keep going now?
No, I reckon just keep going.
Sweet, bro. I will drop in a stinger. What is this one called? Is it Tunnel Talk?
You choose.
Have you been listening to the podcast, Ben?
I actually have, but yeah, there's only been a few that I've listened to, but I'm actually
Have you
being
listened to recent ones or old ones?
recent ones.
Recent ones. Okay, I'm panicking.
Tunnel Talk 1 or Tunnel Talk. There should be a thing I just called that.
I've got Tunnel Talk. I got a lot of. I got Tunnel Talk full. I got Tunnel Talk
Yeah,
short.
full. Go Tunnel
You
Talk
sure?
full.
All
Yes.
right. Fucking.
Sorry about this. We're
It's
normally
all right.
a little bit more prepared, but due to a
It's fine.
division of labor,
I had
this is
it.
what we get.
Motherfucker. We normally take a break.
The year
I'm doing this on the fly.
is
I know.
2046.
That's why I did it.
Almost none of us are left. Those of us who do survive are here in the tunnels. Tunnel talk.
Hell yeah.
It's
I thought
always
that was my lung wheezing, like sitting there going, just like, I'm going to get that checked out.
It's
oh
Tunnel
fuck! I've
Talk.
got cancer.
Yeah.
Oh god, I've got cancer.
It's Tunnel Talk, everybody. And I have some for you. You showed me a video of a guy going through the Melbourne tunnels.
Yeah.
And there was like wiring and stuff down there.
And I said to find out.
And I did. So the reason there's wiring down there is because all the wiring is down there. As the electrical grid of the Melbourne CBD. They leveled it
Infrastructure.
off. They've actually leveled it off more than once, I think. But in 70 odd years ago or whatever, they level off that part of the CBD, like a bunch of blocks.
No shit.
They flatten it, bury all the old tunnels.
Wicked.
So yeah, there's a bunch of tunnels down there, and that's where they run their wiring through. So there's like butty
like locked rooms with transformers and whatever in them.
Yeah.
But then there's also just like wiring being carried through this massive sprawling network of tunnels that run beneath the city.
So the fella who was like acting like it was something just needed to fuck up because it was already cool.
He found something cool and he decided to try and make it magic.
Thank you for discovering that.
Fuck that guy.
Fucking clown.
Infrastructure, man. That's like that dude over in London, you know, the old fucking thing. He fucking went under there and found like cameras staring at him and all sorts of shit, eh? Infrastructure is everywhere.
Well, see, this is interesting. I wanted to get into tunnel talk quite early because we had that submission about a person playing up and having to go get rescued in a tunnel.
Oh, that was me.
That's why I wanted.
So we did.
That was me.
Dude, I definitely wanted to talk to you about this.
Yes.
Infrastructure. Sound bites.
This is our new drum and bass thing.
Hell yeah. What was it like?
How did it even...
Okay, all right. You know
Can you
the story.
tell us the story? Can you tell us the story?
Yeah, we need to hear it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I was like most people that when you're growing up, 12, 13, want to do more with your life. So I did the air training corps, the ATC, which is something that... but the person that run, the squadron leader, he was actually on the Marsden District Council. That was his job. And all of a sudden, he's saying... You know, or we need someone to do a search and rescue mission. But I always kind of had the tendency to act up in class. Rebellious youth. Righty-rah. I got selected for this exercise with the fire department and the ambulance. Try and find a person that is lost underneath the tunnels of Marsden. And so what I pretty much was instructed to climb down the manhole. They came with me.
Yeah, you're the person who's lost.
Yes, so I'm the victim, per se, the victim.
Yeah.
So as they take me to this hole and they sit there, they set me up. Okay, it's a bit wet, bit muddy.
Can I just interrupt?
Yes.
How far in do they take you?
Probably would have been about 200 metres. It was quite a walk.
Where does it go in Masterton?
Straight through where the roundabout is by McDonald's. It was a brief period in time.
What, through a manhole?
There was a brief period in time where Marsden got flooded quite bad.
Okay.
So they started like beefing up the water structure for all the... So the whole road was kind of open at that point. So this is a great time to do this exercise in case somebody gets lost, you know, down in these streets. I don't know who, I don't know why you would go down there, but they obviously want to train for it.
It might happen.
So I went down there.
No, but do you go through a manhole cover, or there's a big pit and then a tunnel in the pit?
It was a manhole that was opened up, and you could see the whole box. It's like a box.
Yeah.
There you can servicing box.
Yeah.
And then it goes down further, which you get into the bigger pipes where you can kind of, I don't want to say stand, but you can kind of kneel almost.
Okay.
I'm a tall guy.
Yeah.
You know. So anyway, they take me down to this place. They set me up. Okay, we're about to leave. And we're going to come and find you. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. They leave. I watch the lights disappear.
How old are you?
I would have been 14.
Yeah, okay.
And I watched the lights disappear.
Yeah.
And then I'm sitting there underneath Masterton in the pitchest black I've ever seen.
They didn't leave you a torch?
I did. No. I had a little torch, you know, the old little watches.
Okay.
They would add a little light on it, but like when you're in pitch black,
honestly,
a match can light up everything, you know.
Okay.
So I'm using this light, and I'm like, these guys, you know, this is bull. I'm covered in mud. This is fucking poly shit, you know. I'm fucking burned. This is supposed to be cool, you know. So I walked down a little bit further because all I could hear were trucks soldering above me, the whole ground shaking. It was quite a visceral experience, to be honest.
Yeah.
So I just walked down a bit further, just like, oh yeah, they're not going to be for a while. But they started looking for me pretty much straight away. So then they get to the location where I am.
And you're not fucking
I am not there.
Oh my God, dude.
I am not there. So then I start walking around. I got a little bit lost. And literally a training exercise became pretty much a... You know,
real time situation.
To them it was real, but to me I was young, going, "Oh, you had to find me," underneath Masterton. yeah, and no matter where you go, if you got that attitude, you will always bring it to the table. You know, even if you're under a town, like, you just gotta ride the edge. You know, they're not gonna find me. Like, I just feel like going up another one, climbing up, going home.
Yeah.
They would have been looking for me for fucking days, and it would have been great. I would have just standing there watching them eating popcorn, like, you know, hey, you know. So that's a fact.
So these stormwater tunnels.
Stormwater
So you're like
tunnels.
stooping going through them.
Yeah, kind of almost on your, like, stooping. Not on your knees, a little bit taller, but pretty much.
And do they, like, are there like lots of passages? Like, is it maze-like, or is it very, like, orderly?
It is maze-like, but it is mighty. So it looks like it goes that way.
Yeah.
And you're like, that's where I'm going. But then you'll hit a corner. And then you realize the scale of the maze that you're in.
Yeah.
When you realize that, it's just not just two streets
that.
or a loop or a circle, like infrastructure. It's a whole world down there. Like, it's real. Like
Brilliant.
it's not like, and people want to go down there, like, I wouldn't recommend going down there. There's no rats. There's a lot of shit, a lot of water.
I mean, the rats are here. You come in like a.
If it starts raining, you're fucked down there. Like, to be honest, I'm pretty sure. I hope they checked the forecast before I went down there. They were like,
Yeah.
there's
I was going
probably
to ask, but I decided that they had.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
like looking at the way they've done this anyway, they may not have.
They might not have.
I thought they had like 10 of them around the city. Every kid that was a cunt, that they would say, "Oh, yeah, this is a
We'll
way
put
to
them in
get
the
rid
tunnel."
of,
Yeah.
to thin the herd." Like,
We'll see how mouthy you are at ATC next week.
oh, I loved it. I went back and started telling everyone, and I got in trouble. Like, it follows you.
Just a
around.
whistleblower from way too early, bro.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's fucking intense, dude.
That's so
So how long did it take?
Well, I was down there for about half an hour. I started to see the lights. You see them from quite
Yeah,
far.
yeah, of course.
But then when you're also down there and you're in that darkness environment, you think that you're like, oh, there's a light. That light is a reflection of a reflection of a reflection
dude.
that's being bounced off the water. And then you're like, oh, it's that way. Easily deceived.
Fuck, I would have freaked out.
Oh, I was kind
I'd
of
have
like,
sued
oh,
them.
they're over there. That's fine. I'll go this way. Like,
So you purposely evaded them.
oh, I made them work for it. That's,
How were you received when they did find you?
I told them I had a broken leg and they had to carry me out. They didn't like me less. I got to make up the injury, and I was like, I'm making the one that's no walking. They had
Yeah,
to,
bro,
like,
this is a tunnel rescue. Fucking take me out of here.
I swear that they just wanted to stretch me and then turn it upside down and just put me in the shit. But they had to do their job. They did great. Like for the circumstances.
You just get out of the tunnel and be like, thanks, mate, and jump off and walk off, mate.
Yeah, it was a great time.
Awesome.
That was a good Tuesday night. I've got to say that.
Wow. I
That's
reckon
amazing.
Now we have our break.
Oh, if you wish.
Yes.
Let's do it. We're back.
Tunnel talk.
What you got for us?
I got some more Australian tunnel talk, bro.
Perfect.
I don't want to do too Australia
Did you do this on purpose?
kind of show. What? Bring in an Australian tunnel talk?
With an Australian?
You Australian?
Yep.
That's our show, ladies and gentlemen. Well, you'll know all about the Snowy Hydro project then.
No.
Yeah, no, they don't give out folders.
So
Once you leave Australia and you're Australian, they fucking disown you. They,
Yeah.
yeah, you cross the ditch, mate. You're going to
Yeah?
be buried there. Yeah. They really don't like it. I'm a Kiwi over
I
there,
insist
right?
that you
I'm
have
in-
my corpse.
No, I'm a Kiwi over there. Like to be honest,
course.
they hate everyone. Like,
Yeah, they're not nice people.
Well, they love their tunnels, Ben. I'll tell
of
you.
course,
Tunnel rats.
they love the US bases too.
Yeah.
yeah, of course. Those people that got caught, they got busted,
Yeah.
like breaking into, what was it?
Big CIA base out in the middle of the desert.
in Australia.
So I didn't hear that at all.
Yeah. And people tried to break in there, and then they were like, "Yeah, we got some footage. It's really cool." And they got stopped at the airport. Big surprise.
Yeah. You'd imagine so.
Yeah.
This project, this Snowy Hydro thing, is in the Tangtara Reservoir. I did that for you.
Thank
Reservoir.
Can't used to say reservoir.
I probably will again.
Oof.
So they called so the plan is you got two bodies of water, like 30 odd k's apart.
Mm-hmm.
You dig a 12-meter diameter tunnel, or just shy,
Nice.
that goes for 26 k's under all this different kinds of substrate. You also build an underground power station and turbines. That's like 50 meters high and 200 meters long and 30 meters wide, like the cavern that they do in there as well as this massive tunnel. The idea being, when there's water up top, you take it through the turbines, you generate shit tons of electricity. When electricity is like plentiful from other supplies, you pump that water back the other way. But the way they're going about it, I think it sounds like kind of a slapdick operation, right? So they brought it in. It was supposed to cost $2 billion and be done by 2024. They now say it's 2027, and the cost is $12 billion. They put out a feasibility study initially, right? The entire chapter on cost was redacted. So this is like when they decided to see if it was feasible, they just didn't say how much it cost, and they kind of showed up with a number.
What the hell?
It's an amazing project, but they're going through 5 different types of rock, 3 major fault zones, 5 rivers and creeks.
Underground, right?
Yeah, bro.
So they're under all those things. They're not like bulldozing fucking through the forest.
No, they're using a tunnel boring machine, which I will show you now, which they call Florence.
Yeah.
It is 143 meters long. So it's does an 11 meter diameter. So that's the business end of it. There.
Yeah.
Yep.
What was the one in Auckland?
That'll do it.
Alice, yeah. The trick with this one is it's supposed to cope with all these different kinds of substrate. So you're supposed to be able to change the heads on it, and it's got like a slurry mode for when it it encounters different stuff. But that gear just wasn't on site. Like they didn't have that. So when they started hitting like softer and wetter stuff, they just had no
way to deal with it.
They just didn't have the fucking gear.
Seems like you'd need it.
They excavated 3 times more spoil than they anticipated. The workers warned them that there would be a sinkhole, and there was a sinkhole.
Nice.
Nobody got trapped or
What
died,
the fuck?
but there was a collapse, a partial collapse. There was another partial collapse because they're trying to do the tunnel and the big whatever, where the turbines and all that are going to be at the same time, and they're drilling and blasting next to the, like, too close to the other tunnel. They're trying to like kind of do 2 blasts at once and stuff.
Yeah.
Now, one of their safety procedures is that you can't have guys in the tunnel if there's any blasting happening. So nobody was in the tunnel. However, people were in the tunnel when toxic gas was released. They're encountering all this soft stuff.
What was the gas?
Well, the gas comes off. I can't remember the name of it, and my internet's not working.
Was it like an excretion from the earth or the
No,
process,
it's because they're digging out all this soft substrate, and it's all kind of collapsing under them, and they're trying to firm up what's underneath them. So they're pumping it with like grout and polyurethane foam. But over time, they keep tunneling. That stuff kind of changes composition. Sometimes it gets hot because of what's happening.
Yeah.
When it gets hot or abraded, it releases a
Toxic gas.
Yeah.
Oh.
What they did was they told the workers that it was just water vapor. Yeah, bro.
Get her done.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get her done, bro.
Yeah.
That's worse than Zachley's, bro.
That's getting her done.
They reckon that this machine, Florence, was stuck for like months, like bogged down, not tunneling, and they're putting out slick corporate videos that are like, we're making great progress. Our tunnel boring machine is going 30 meters a day, or whatever. Like they're doing all the slick PR, and at the same time they're gassing their workers, and the place is fucking collapsing.
That's fucking incredible.
Isn't it? Isn't it amazing that you can? It's $12 billion now, and it's still. Wow, that's crazy, man. You say you had all the right gear, huh? Oh, you didn't bring it. Fuck.
A lot of the gear is usually transported from place to place, to site to site. So a company will be like, we need that there and that there and that there. To be honest, if that's probably why it costs $12 billion all of a sudden. They're like, yeah, we need another 4 drill bits.
Yeah.
We need to buy them
16
now.
ports.
Yeah.
I did notice while I was doing this research that after a while, Australian place names all sound like Dr. Zeus. Oh, it's Tangtara, Tel Bingo. Oh, Yarango Billy Caves.
Yes.
Yeah.
You should hear the Australian people pronounce Māori names. That's funny.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Taronga. All those kind of fucking places.
Yeah, bro. There's some good ones. I've heard a couple of good ones at work. Yeah, trying to tell people kawarei.
Yeah.
They flinch at you or cowrail, and they're like, "Oh, the bear plenty."
I know of a power company. Don't know, but like literally the workers that like from New Zealand are taking phone calls from Australians, and the people will put on an Australian accent so they'd be nice.
Yeah, bro.
Because if they're just like, oh hey bro, they're just like, like they fucking
Kiwi.
yeah, they fucking hate it. So if you put on a fake Australian accent,
Yeah.
which to me is natural, but like if you put that on, then they're like, oh hey mate, yeah, how's it going?
Yeah,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry, send me the bill. But if
There's
you've got
a-
a fucking hint of bro in you, they'll fucking come
I
for
think
you.
there's a Spike Lee movie about that too, eh? And I thank you, caller or
Black
something.
Klansman.
That's similar era of those movies, but it's like
Black Klansman. They certainly like. It's a guy on the phone pretending to be a white guy.
yeah, he fucks
Yeah.
up when he like because he gets a number which they're like, oh, send us your we'll
It's
give
the
you a
precursor
call.
for face swap. Like
We'll
it
give you a
is.
call, give you a call, and if you fit the criteria, and he just fucks up and gives his real name, and they're like, all the other cops are sort of laughing at him, being like,
Yeah.
"You're a fucking idiot." I like that movie.
Movies.
Look, that's an interesting story. That'd be
Oh,
really
about
inspiring
Just
to see it.
corporate corruption.
Be
Yeah, it's
really
awesome.
inspiring to see it go well. But that's not.
What's
that's not how
happening
it's
at all?
going.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
To
Well, nice fucking job, Australia.
Yeah.
Your
Well,
people, Ben.
Yeah, well, they get it done. Not really well, but they get it done, you know.
I love how all the in these stories again. My internet's not working, but there's quotes from the workers going like, "Oh, it's a fucking shit show." Is
Yeah,
the
I
quote,
bet.
like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but they say that, when they stub their toe.
Yeah,
like, come
yeah.
on, everything sucks, but until...
Now, it's been
It's
a
a
shambles
middle
from start
line.
to finish.
Everything sucks, but then there's a plateau of just everything, and that's everything involved from like crashing your car to losing your brother. Like that sucks, mate. Like the plateaus, and then that's about the level of emotion you're going to get about most topics.
Yeah.
To get them to go anything, the bombing of Darwin, they were like, yeah, but we threw them in the sea. Like they didn't fucking care. Like you want to build a tunnel.
That's why Aussie's just British Texas.
Oh, it is. It's
Yeah.
like
It's just
literally
the Britain's Texas.
Britain's Texas.
That's how it works.
That's
All of the crazy staunch cowboy people live there.
I don't want to go to Texas if that's the fact, like, to be honest, because if the Texas of America is anything like Australia is to,
It's probably worse.
it's probably way worse.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's probably way worse.
like for a colony, essentially, is what it
Yeah.
is. Like
Yeah.
that have
Yeah,
like they sell all sorts of indigenous culture stuff everywhere as exactly like what they are, and this is who we are. We are Australia. Yeah. Look at the
do-
history book for a second.
We're probably close to finishing up, but
Yeah.
I do have to say one of our listeners had a theory that he wanted us to put out.
Okay.
We had said about America receives karma for trying to use tunnels negatively.
I think you had said that.
Yeah, I said it. And it's on our thing. So anyway, that's the Greenland ice sheet. Hey, when they were
Yeah.
trying to put nukes under this ice sheet.
They're trying to do offensive tunnels.
Yeah, and you can't do that. And that's why America keeps getting defeated by tunnels. It's a karmic thing. Well, this guy reckons one better. And he reckons when they were faced with a tyrannical king, they just left, found another country, committed a genocide, put their own shit up, and just made two shit countries. Instead of, they should have made tunnels and took that motherfucker down. That's a very interesting theory.
It's a great point.
It's a great point. That's why they have karma forever, because they didn't do that.
It'd be fun to imagine a world where Britain turned into good guys like 300 years ago, and Native Americans still exist.
Yeah, it's a weird world to envision.
Yeah.
Yeah, the indigenous cultures of Great Britain are buried, like
Yeah.
they are buried. Like you wouldn't ever hear about any of the tribes. Look into the history.
Yeah, bro.
Open your eyes.
Look it up.
Yeah.
Look it up, everybody.
Is that us?
Yeah, bro, that's been Tunnel Talk.
Too much. Thank you so much,
Ben,
Ben.
where
Thanks
can
for
people
having
find
me.
your music?
Yep.
Where can people find your music, Ben?
Oh, we are finding Inhale on Spotify at the moment and YouTube. Inhale New Zealand, and check it out. If you feel like a headbang, pretty much. If
Sick.
you feel like
Hell yeah.
anything like
Yeah, we'll
that, you
chuck
feel
up some
aggressive, you're
links.
mad, you're in traffic, you want something that fucking feels good.
We'll check
That's
up
what I
some
reckon.
links on our videos when we post them.
Do
Sounds
not put
Um,
it with your grandmother in the room or your, you know.
Put it on with like-minded individuals.
That's
Yeah.
exactly it. That's exactly it.
Get some meat and cheese and listen to some inhale.
Some meat and cheese.
That's us.
Thanks for being with us, Ben. You can find us on patreon.com/shutupdudenz.
Peace.
See ya. I don't want to hear the segments prior. I just want to hear the tunneling part. In my heart I have but one desire, an underground tube, the dank and the gloom.